that I learned from that. So one another thing is you might have heard about like SpaceX, right? SpaceX, the most most famous company in space. So the most like unique selling point of SpaceX was they had a usable rocket, right? So their booster rocket can launch the vehicle, and once the vehicle is launched, is come back to the Earth safely, right?
Correct.
Before that, what used to happen was those rockets used to fall in the sea, right? And they were not useful. So once SpaceX built those rockets, those can safely land on Earth. Everybody was shocked, right? Like, how can they do that? Because nobody was able to do that rocket like that. So my question to is, why it is so difficult to build a reusable rocket? That rocket that can go into the atmosphere and then come back and land on Earth. Why it is so difficult?
So it has 2 to 3 levels of difficulty. One thing is so it is definitely not possible for a small vehicle. Why? Because you have to carry extra fuel. For a reusable rocket to come back again, it needs extra fuel to travel back, right? So with a small vehicle, it exceeds your mass limits. It exceeds the mass that we can carry into space. So since SpaceX vehicles were big enough to actually handle that, they carry extra fuel for that. The second level of difficulty is to have a trajectory back to the launch pad again. So your vehicle has a defined trajectory that allows it to go from launch pad to the orbit, to your required orbit, and it is a very defined trajectory. Okay, so if it deviates from that, it has to just we'll have to destruct that vehicle because it can't deviate from that required trajectory.
Right.
Sorry.
So you just have to plummet that vehicle into the sea, right?
That, or you can destruct it. You can just blow up the vehicle. So every vehicle has a flight termination system. Okay. I'll come to that. We can discuss about that also. So every vehicle has a flight termination system that actually blows it up if the vehicle is going out of trajectory, out of its defined trajectory. So moving on from that, so basically we have a very defined trajectory to go into orbit. So apart from that, along with that, they also have a very defined trajectory to come back to the launch pad itself. So it requires a very accurate algorithm to actually define a trajectory and actually maintain the vehicle in that trajectory and just land it on a very small area. So that launch pad you have seen, right? The launch pad name is PS I Love You. That launch pad is a very small area compared to, you see that vehicle has to land within that area, and that too completely erect, because if it falls, it blows up. If it lands somewhere else, like let's say just 50 meters away from the defined position, it is again lost, because that launch pad is very small inside. So it has to land exactly on that small area, and that too completely erect. So defining the algorithm to follow that trajectory in itself was a challenge. And that is why when they did it, it became a huge sensation at that point. So yeah, 2 problems basically: carrying extra fuel, okay, and defining the algorithm to actually land it back.
So it was a software problem. I mean, like, people were not able to figure out the software for the second part.
Yes. Software again was a problem. Then because hardware is same. Hardware is same because you have to the hardware that allows you to launch the vehicle into the space, and the one that allows you to land is mostly the same. Hardware is not hardware is not unknown challenge. It is known. It is still difficult, but it is known. Software was a unknown challenge at that point. So they made that algorithm to actually land it on the launch pad. So that was an unknown challenge.
With respect to the fuel, so when your rocket is, let's say its use is over, okay, now you have to take that rocket back to the Earth. So you said about the fuel, right? So why do we need a fuel while taking the rocket back? So I think rocket will be in free fall, right? If you don't have a fuel.
Yes. If we don't have fuel, it would be free fall. So you've seen SpaceX booster stage coming back to PSI level, the launch pad, right? You've seen that. So how it does is it follows the engine is on. So the engine is ignited, and it is coming back like this. So it has a trajectory and it comes back like this. So fuel is needed to ignite that engine. So to keep that engine working, the fuel is needed. Okay. If there is no fuel, the engine is not ignited, it would just fall. Okay. You can't have the vehicle just fall because the vehicle is not just above the launch pad, right? It is somewhere. It is somewhere very far away from the launch pad itself. Right. So it has to come back within that trajectory, and to maintain that trajectory, it has to work its engine. So the engine has to work, and for engine to work, it has to carry fuel. And if we were not reusing that stage, the stage would have just had a free fall, and it would have fallen into ocean. So at that point, we don't require that fuel. But since we are landing that vehicle on that launch pad, that is why we require fuel, because the engine had to work, and by controlling the engine movements, we control the trajectory, and that is how it lands.
Basically,
so that is why we require fuel.
Control the aircraft in the rocket in free fall, you need engine power, right? Correct. So actually, I saw in that video also first when the rocket got away from the actual main vehicle, it reignited, and then it came back. Right?
Yes, yes. So the engine is shut down once it separates, and then it is again reignited. So for that reignition itself, we require fuel.
You actually at that time you could see the tension on Elon Musk's face that it's not reigniting. What's happened? So that's video on National Geographic. That's what I said. So.